Is it time to reboot and start a new process in Philadelphia? So right now there's a lot of stuff going on in Philadelphia between, I mean, this past offseason they made the biggest splash, getting Paul George, biggest signing of the offseason, and things are kind of, looking in the right direction for Philly. The last few years have been kind of rough with Embiid injuries and playoff, not making it too far in the playoffs, this and that. But get Paul George in the offseason, like I mentioned, things are looking good. But now Paul George and Joel Embiid don't start the year. Paul George had a season debut the other night. Doesn't look great. It's his first game, new team. So,
Some
it's not,
rust.
don't have to be too harsh on him.
Have
But
to take it off.
then we look at off the court, Joel Embiid is making headlines not only with saying that he might not be playing back-to-backs and stuff. There's been a lot of controversy. A lot of old NBA players, legends kind of chimed in, giving their opinion there on his effort, what he's giving to the city. Embiid kind of talking about, what he's given to the city, laying his body on the line and all this, and thinking that he's given all that he can to Philadelphia. Then we have altercations going on in the locker room with reporters and columnists, which I'm not going to give my 2 cents. If it's a lot of stuff going on in Philly, do you think, just as things are looking good, Jerry, do you think it's actually crumbling down in Philly, or is this something that they can get past, work through? They're 1-5 right now, so tough start. Can they make it to the top of the East, or do things need to change in Philly? Which I don't want to say you have to trade anyone, but I mean, there's a big name there that potentially could be on the move at some point.
I look at Philly's situation as a big wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this in episode 62 of our podcast, which you guys should totally go check out. But
Absolutely.
where the Phoenix Suns took a while to get adjusted to their new big three and kind of had to figure things out. This situation in Philadelphia is a little different since Joel is letting not just NBA fans and analysts know, but his teammates and coaches know, hey, I'm not going to be available probably every night. Like, maybe you got me for 60 games this year if I'm lucky. So knowing that going in is kind of makes it harder to gel.
Disheartening.
And yeah, it's definitely disheartening, but it makes it harder to gel with your teammates, gets you harder to gel. Like, I know he's played with Nick Nurse last year, but to be on the same page with your head coach, to kind of see where you can be utilized in certain positions.
Right.
And I know if I was his teammate, I'll be looking at Joel kind of crazy, like, damn, like, you dropped 50 one night and now you about to chill on the bench. That kind of pisses me off as your teammate. But I get management and the coaching staff had to have this conversation with Joel, I bet, and the training staff to where it is in his best interest to sit out a few games, not play every game. And personally, I get why everybody's upset, but personally, it doesn't really piss me off too much as long as there's some type of better result compared to seasons past, right?
Right.
So I'm not really tripping right now, even off the 1-5 start, because it's mostly been the Tyrese Maxey show with Kelly.
He's been incredible. Yeah, he's been incredible.
He's been great. But I mean, obviously he needs some help. Like, it's early. I'm not going to overreact to a 6 or 7 game start so far. There's still 70, 76 more, 75 more games to play. So it's definitely nothing to overreact about right now. But if Philly's not too careful, then like, we could see a fire sale as early as next year. And this is a very reactive franchise, right? Where they definitely throw trades out as soon as it happens, as soon as it needs to happen, just like the James Harden situation with Daryl Morey a season ago. So I know that they're going to freak out if they're not over 500 after 20 games, but I would just kind of chill right now and let things kind of play out the way that it should. Let Joel get healthy. Let him sit out these 3 games with the suspension, with the incident with the reporter. But I'm gonna hit the patient button right now. It's not time to reboot quite yet. But if we're at the All-Star break and you guys are 10 games under 500, I am panicking. But in the East, you can probably still make the playoffs. But I'm gonna chill right now. I'm gonna let the screen keep loading for now.
I think the Sixers are in a weird period right now where Embiid's 30, Paul George is in his mid-30s and stuff. So it's like your window isn't super open, especially given the injury history of Embiid and even a Paul George. I'm with you. Like, listen, like Paul, they're 1-5. Your 2 best players, arguably one of the best players in the world in the NBA, isn't playing. So, like, that's going to happen because your team is built around those 2 players. I think if things continue to go the way that they are, as far as like no playoff success and stuff with this team, I think at some point tough decisions will have to be made. But at the same time, we have to think of like Paul George came to Philly to play with Embiid and stuff. So they're not just going to give up on this quick, even though the age part is what I think might be the reasoning why they would speed up that process.
Yeah.
Because the window it's only getting smaller. It's not getting bigger, even with a guy like Maxey. I think it is important to be patient and kind of see how it plays out when everyone is healthy and stuff. But I do also look at the situation where it could rapidly decline. I'm with you with the whole injury thing. Like, I don't have an issue with Embiid like sitting out games. I don't think it was the best thing to kind of publicize it and kind of say what he did. I think that kind of like, again, like puts a bad taste in his teammates' mouths, his coaches' mouths, and stuff like that. But if it leads to playoff success and being healthy for the playoffs, like that's what's most important. The MVP awards, it doesn't matter anymore. He got his MVP, and at this point, people meme him for not making a pass the second round. We all see all these memes of like, oh, like this person did this before Joel Embiid made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah. This happened. So that's the goal, is going far in the playoffs. And if that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. But it is a very it's a very sensitive, Philly fans are rough and stuff, and Embiid's saying what he is, but you have to be smart with like what you say and stuff. And, you want the best for this team and success and all that, but you don't want to create any more controversy off the court as well, like making headlines and stuff like that. So, I think after the suspension, I don't know if he'll be healthy. I don't know if he'll be ready to play after the suspension, but I don't think we should be jumping on hitting the panic button yet until we've at least seen a good enough sample size with everyone there and healthy.
No, I agree. It's definitely, let's wait and see. Even with the message being so jarring with him sitting out games, that's going to stick in the back of everybody's head
100%
up until the season is over, just to see what Philly does. I said it over the summer too. I think the Sixers probably have a better chance than the Knicks. That's the team we were gassing up. Maybe even the Cleveland Cavaliers to kind of shake up Boston to the core a little bit, just based off of the talent that I know Joel has. And in a 7-game series, if he's healthy and the team's healthy, I still think the Sixers could be, legit. Like, they could rattle off 20 straight wins or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? Win 15 of their next 16 games. Like, they're that talented. So
yeah, who knows? When they all are healthy and they play together, it might be the best trio we've ever seen, but we don't know yet.